Hey, what's up, guys? Taylor Trader back again for another weekly review. Nothing changed in the IRA. As you can see, this was a 1 month trade I put on just so I could get distance from Amazon because it could move up or down. This week it's also down again, but as you can see that I'm positioned pretty good in here. The stock is right here, and these are my puts. It's still moving down towards me, and those are my calls. Monday, I might roll my calls down to 3,500 unless we gap up Monday. If we come down more, I'll roll my calls down to bring in some more premium to stay in the trade. That's it for the IRA. I bought some more shares and I sold a new covered call on GHIV. That's all that happened in this account. Nothing else. We made a $250 deposit and bought some shares with it. That's it. So to the main account. The main account this week we are down again because I got squeezed on lemonade. Uh, it's one of the things where there's a part to this game where a lot of things will look good and will set up good, but it's just hard to assess everything. And I wouldn't say I didn't assess everything. I did assess it. I just didn't assess Monday doing this. Like, this is the squeeze that I got on Monday. We opened at like 150 right here, and we went all the way up to 183, and I sold the 200s. So, I had a plan to buy some shares at 190, no, 180 if we get there before, um, you know, probably Friday, right? I didn't expect us to have a big squeeze like that. In one day, up 30 points. So the things that led into it was one, that was an issue. Two, the IV of the stock went from like 70 to 160, 180. Like it was ridiculous. So I was thinking my calls that I had, I would be down maybe like six, 700, but nope, I am down. At the time, I was down like almost 2 grand. So, I had to make a decision. So I chose to buy some shares, and um, because the IV was just so high, I just said, you know what, this is just not what I planned on doing. And the other thing was, man, this thing is killing me. The other thing was didn't, I didn't calculate myself basically having to buy shares at 200. So when I did the initial margin calculation for 200 shares, I did it at basically what the stock was at, which is at basically like 150, right? So I did it right here. So, 200 shares, 16K. That's what I had in my mind, right? So I didn't like focus on, hey, you say you plan on buying shares at 180, so it's not going to be 16K. So when we're at 180, and I look to see, hey, I got to buy 200 shares. This is not updating, but 200 shares at 180 is literally 10,000 per share. So that's like 20, around 22,000 it was going to cost me to buy the shares, which I had in my account. It's just it's gonna throw me into that 90% margin that I didn't want to be in. So all in all, that was a failed trade, and I just said, I'm just gonna dump it, eat the loss, and regroup. So for the rest of the week, I had some Tesla puts and calls, made money out of those. Sold some puts on Myrna, made money out of it. DraftKings cashed in those puts I had. I had an Apple put, Fubo put, Baidu put. I got out of my Beyonds. I got out of all my Beyonds. Sold some new ones, collect the money from those. Uh, I had a 129 naked call on Beyond, and I saw Beyond coming up on Monday, so I took it off because I was like, I'm not gonna let this thing challenge me. So you can see this 129. I sold it for 95, and I bought it back for 61 because I was like, I'm not gonna play the game with this thing coming against me because I was already mad about the lemonade, right? So because yeah, that pissed me off. So I took it off. So I took it off, and then Beyond came up. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll sell the 143, right? Which is 143. I ended up selling the 143, and I sold the 143, and I kid you not that this thing ran up on my 143. Trying to look for it. I guess I didn't bring it over, but I have it. I just don't know where oh, here it is. 143. Right? So, this thing came up and challenged me. So, at some point you have to say, hey, take this thing off because the news came out. And I waited like maybe 3, 4 minutes at the open to see if we're going to sell off on the news. So we didn't sell off. So I just bought it back, eat the $177 loss, and and I eat the loss. I'll be right there. I eat the loss, and basically, I bought 100 shares and I wrote a covered call to mitigate that loss. One and two, I saw the upward movement in the stock because there's a lot of volume in it. And then I turn around, roll up my 116 puts because I had these 116 puts that I sold for next week for 149, and I bought those back for 54, so I net that money. And I rolled up into some, I think I rolled up into 123. I rolled up into some 123 puts. Let me pull this up. This will make it a lot easier. Yeah, so I rolled up into these. I did 123s first. That's what it is. I was in 123s and then I went into 128s. So I rolled up twice on those Beyond Meat puts. So now I have the 128. I have two 128 puts. So I was in 116, rolled those up, and then I was in 128 and I rolled the 120. I was in 116, roll up to 123, and then I roll up to 128. So I made probably 600 back because I had to make that big loss back that I took on Lemonade. Well, I wasn't trading to make it back, but Beyond Meat is working with me, so why not, right? So I rolled that up. While that's going on, I know, keep playing with the same fire, even though I just got burned. I saw I could get $77 for a Beyond 180 call for next week. So I took that naked call, and basically, if Beyond Meat goes up, I cash in on all my puts. If Beyond Meat goes down, I cash in on these naked calls. So they were going for $77, so I sold three of them. As you can see, I'm up right now. So if Monday Beyond Meat gaps up to, let's say it gaps up to like 155, then I'll think of maybe cutting this with my profit, but I'm not gonna let it go negative on me. So I'll just cut it with my profit. I still have this 120 put that I had to roll out. Remember, this was my initial 135 put that I rolled down 15 points to 120. So I still have this put. I was thinking of closing it, but this is a break-even close, and I want my money. So I need some form of profit. So if we can get this down, if Beyond Me can go up another, basically around $5, because it's a 12 delta, then I'll be happy. Otherwise, from that, it's sitting there. DraftKings. So I got DraftKings for next week. I sold a Facebook put because I see Facebook bouncing off 240, and it's a good area, and it's not a bad place if I get assigned a share, so I'll take it. And I got out of my Fazley puts because Fazley on Friday was just not doing what it's supposed to. I had 89 and 90, so I sold these new puts. Las Vegas Sands, I'm bag holding that, and OSTK. So I got a bunch of stuff. I'm using around 70% of my margin right now, so I'm using a little bit more extra, but that's it. Just learn my lesson from Lemonade. One of the next big things that a lot of people might not know, or just take my mistakes as your lesson. So this is a chain for Lemonade, right? So this is what happened to me. Um, these puts are useless now, but if I'm trying to get a put that is out there, So the IVs died down. You can see it's at 106, but it was at like 180. So what they did to me was, let's say this put was $10. This put had like $150 spread. So, and they would not fill me. Only feel I could get is on the bid. Like I tried to work this thing all the way down, and the only fill I could get was on the bid. So they literally widened the spreads. So if you're in there, you're stuck in there. Or if you really want to get out, you have to sell on the bid. You know what I'm saying? So you have to buy on the on the ask I'm in. So that was what they did to me when the IV increase was they widened the spreads out so wide that getting out wasn't an option unless you literally say I'm just getting out and eating the loss. So that's one of the things that you look at whenever you play with stocks that have a liquid chain option chains is you can get stuck in a play and they just basically increase the width of the spread and you're basically stuck unless you want to eat that big loss. And the next day they put out an offering, if I would have held it, but if I would have held it and it went to 300, I'd have to deal with that. So, and that wasn't a part of my plan. As I said, my plan was either to buy the shares or take the loss if I feel like taking the loss. So I stuck with my plan. We still haven't turned positive, and it's 16 days in the year, so we'll see if we can turn positive this next week. But right now, we're just running around chasing our tails for the last 2 weeks. So we'll see what it has. That's all I have. Hopefully you guys stay green. And as I said, this is not investment advice because you will lose money. Hence, you see me losing money. So, make sure you do your own thing. But nice to hear from you guys. And yeah, hopefully you learned something from my mistakes because that's what I'm here showing, documenting my progress and showing my mistakes. That's all I got. And thank you guys for watching my video.